sides of a story.
Thank you, Lord, for one more year. Thank you, Lord, for one more year. Grace Thrillers. Yeah. Why is this darking? Often your tasks will be many and more than you think you can do. Often the road will be rugged and the hills insurmountable too. But always remember, the hills ahead are never as steep as they seem. And with faith in your heart, start upward and climb till you reach your dream. For nothing in life that is worthy is never too hard to achieve, if you have the courage to try it and you have the faith to believe. For faith is a force that is greater than knowledge or power or skill, and many defeats turn to triumph if you trust in God's wisdom and will. For faith is a mover of mountains. There's nothing that God cannot do. So start out today with faith in your heart and climb till your dream comes true. The Grace Thrillers, Thank You, Lord, for One More Year. And before that, the poetry of Helen Steiner Rice. That's Helen, Helen, Steiner, Steiner, Rice, as in rice and peas. Thank you, Lord, for one more year. We're still in the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the 10th day of the first month of 2024. Here in Jamaica, the month of January is being observed as Earthquake Awareness Month. In fact, coming up in a few days, Earthquake Awareness Week. January is also Soup Month here in Jamaica. Meanwhile, in the United States, January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month and Mentorship Month. It's traditional day in Benin. Hoy es miércoles el 10 de enero 2024 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado, porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos.
listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 2:15. The following are the nominees for the RG Arena Sports Foundation Sportsman of the Year 2023. Tajay Gale, the silver medalist at the Diamond League final and the bronze medalist at the World Championships in the long jump. Jaheel Hyde, the gold medalist in the 400-meter hurdles at the Pan American Games. Fraser McConnell, multiple winner of Rallycross events in 2023. Hansa Parchment, the silver medalist in the 110-meter hurdles at the World Championships, gold medalist at the Diamond League final, and the fastest man for the event in 2023. Wayne Pinnock, the long jumper with the year's best jump of 8.54 meters and a silver medalist for the event at the World Championships.
C'est mercredi le 10 janvier 2024 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutent où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Wednesday, the 10th of January, 2024, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never, ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. Apologies to our friends at Hosemati Technical High School. Today marks their 47th anniversary, and they celebrated with a Founders Day, the usual Founders Day celebration. Today, the 10th of January, they started at 8 o'clock this morning, hosted by the Hosemati Past Students Association of Jamaica, JAMSA. And it's an occasion we've followed over the years. We've covered it for a few years on our own, for the most part, and good things have been happening at Hosemati Technical High School, and we congratulate them on their 47th anniversary. And so sorry we weren't able to join you or rejoin you in a manner of speaking, but well done as usual. Keep it going, keep the fire burning, and all the very best. Sharon Smith and the team from Hosemati Technical High School. Here's a video that we haven't had the opportunity to audition before sharing any bit of it. And this is coming from Raskava. We will take a look at it off air. Raskava, thank you very much for sharing. Patricia Mackenzie Thomas is greeting us. She represents OSF International Social Care Services, the Monique St. Anne chapter. OSF International Social Work Program for the Caribbean. The program is being offered by OSF International Social Care Services and is open to professionals in social work and social care who hold a social work qualification, social work degree, bachelor's or master's. Yes, indeed, the world needs more of these workers, those involved in social work. That is a fact, especially in what we now refer to as the post-COVID period, although COVID is still somewhere around, fooling around, as we've been reading. So COVID hasn't gone anywhere in a sense. Sadly, there are instances of death, still instances of death stalk our people globally. And we were just trying to retrieve that bit of that story. Where is it? That detailed the latest with respect to COVID-19. As well, spare a thought for our brothers, sisters, family members in general, friends, colleagues, neighbors. Spare a thought as they go through and seek to ride out their storm. It's been rather snowy and wet as well. 3 dead in southeast storms as Florida governor issues state of emergency. That's one of the stories that we've been seeing. We're also being told that long-term respiratory illness is here to stay. For those of us who thought COVID-19 went away, have you felt like that winter cold just doesn't end? Well, you're not alone. Many who contracted COVID-19 have suffered from long COVID when the symptoms endure an extended period and can have long-term effects. Now, scientists have found that the common cold and flu can also have long versions, which include symptoms becoming chronic. In addition, we're in the mindset of a triple-demic with COVID-19, the flu, RSV, all making the rounds. Experts posit that longer-term illness is here to stay and more people are likely to be affected in the future. What defines a long illness? A long illness has symptoms lasting well over what is considered to be the average time for the disease. For most respiratory ailments, the threshold is 3 months of symptoms. Some have wrongfully thought they were suffering from a long cold or long flu because of the disremembering that happened during the pandemic. Following the pandemic, when many common viruses weren't circulating widely, some people simply forgot how long symptoms can linger after a standard respiratory illness, usually a period of about 2 weeks. More severe initial infections are more likely to lead to a long infection, especially when it comes to the flu, according to a study published in the Lancet Infectious Diseases. Conceptualizing these diseases as acute illnesses is really just looking at the tip of the iceberg and eclipses the much longer toll of adverse health outcomes that are happening in the post-acute phase. You can read on more. For more, you can go to Bing. That's the browser. And so we thought we'd share that bit of information that we came across. So we're going to leave that there and move right along. And let's see, coming out of the US, Obama judge shuts down effort to kick Donald Trump off ballot. That's another of the stories trending in the region. A federal judge in Nevada, who was appointed by former President Barack Obama, dismissed a lawsuit on Monday that sought to have Donald Trump off the ballot. And you can read on for more as well. In the meantime, we want to thank those who have joined us. Welcome. We see you popping up, Ricardo, in Glengough, St. Catherine. Good afternoon to you too. And he's sending out shout outs as usual to all the listeners from across the world. He says, thank God for life. Norman Hines says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan, Malcolm, and listeners. Good afternoon, Norman Hines. Olga Hollingshead says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan, Malcolm, and all your diaspora family and friends everywhere. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much, and you do likewise. Right, so how did we get here? We were looking at OSF International Social Work under the leadership of Patricia Mackenzie Thomas, and suggesting that we need, with a capital N, well, capital N-E-E-D, we need more social workers at home and abroad. And we look forward to some training programs put on by OSF International Social Care Services. Those are coming up the 6th of January to the 17th of February. And then they will have another session from the 24th of February to the 6th of April, and from the 13th of April 2024 to the 25th of May 2024. Those who are interested are being asked to make contact. Registration is now open. And we wish them well, the society we live in and the societies of the world need help as far as social work is concerned. It can be quite burdensome for some people, but we need all hands on board, all hands on deck. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, Paul? Okay.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 2:30. I've been hearing about this constitutional reform thing. You know anything about it? Yes, constitutional reform is a chart for us to organize the constitution. But how? Enough things changed since 1962, and we've matured as a nation. So modernizing the constitution will reflect our current societal values. Oh, a constitution for Jamaicans? Approved by Jamaicans. Are you ready for the journey? Join us on the road to republic. Think independence, think republic. A message from the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs. The following are the nominees for the RGR Leaders Sports Foundation Sportsman of the Year 2023. Tajay Gale, the silver medalist at the Diamond League final and the bronze medalist at the World Championships in the long jump. Jaheel Hyde, the gold medalist in the 400-meter hurdles at the Pan American Games. Fraser McConnell, multiple winner of rallycross events in 2023. Hansel Parchment, the silver medalist in the 110-meter hurdles at the World Championships, gold medalist at the Diamond League final, and the fastest man for the event in 2023. Wayne Pinnock, the long jumper with the year's best jump of 8.54 meters and a silver medalist for the event at the World Championships.
Ren Mendez. Oh, this he was responding to. Let's see. He was responding to something that Jesse said earlier on. He says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Blake. Happy New Year. Please get yourself a time clock for the callers. Now, about and his declaration, the Prime Minister should not have to give any explanation to us as to why this mess is not sorted out after 2 years. The Integrity Commission, under no circumstances, should continue to cause mischief and, by extension, ruin people's reputation. You do not release any such info, such as a number of people are under investigation, without identifying who said individuals are. It is their duty to say to the Jamaican public why it is that they have not certified the Prime Minister's declaration. Gather all the info that you need before informing the Jamaican people that someone is under investigation. And at the same time, identify said individuals. And yes, we need said commission. However, some of the things they're doing are overshadowing the good that they're doing. From Ren in Toronto. And then there's a rejoinder. He says, Mr. Blake, with regard to crime, we need to attack this monster from all angles. We need to be able to convict these individuals when you finally get them in front of a judge. Why do we have such a low conviction rate? People love their lives and are not willing to put their lives in danger. So we need to ramp up the use of technology. So we rely less on people giving evidence. We have to use more technology evidence to convict these individuals. This is from Ren in Toronto, Canada. Thank you, Ren in Toronto, Canada. Still in Canada, Franklin McDonald in Guelph says, Dervan, since the United Nations is marking the period of time in which we should be focusing on indigenous languages, could you possibly bring on an expert on the indigenous languages of the Caribbean, meaning early Arawakan or I think you mean Taino, or you have Tahina. There is in fact an English dictionary available online, which I have sent you links with at various times in the past. It stimulates some discussion about the origin of some of our Jamaican language words, I think. We'll see what we can do, Mr. McDonald. Thank you very much for your suggestion. Cuban in Georgia says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. In 1976, when former Prime Minister Michael Manley visited Cuba and was warmly welcomed by His Excellency Fidel Castro, his wife, Mr. Manley's wife, Beverly, who is still alive and was given a presidential cultural heritage, dancing and visiting and singing of Cuban music and singing of the agreement, signing off the agreement between Jamaica and the people of Cuba. And at the time, in 1976, our own Air Jamaica plane was active and a vibrant transportation network. Even our own Prime Minister Michael Manley has the privilege and luxury to travel to Cuba in at the time as product and brand of the Jamaican people when Air Jamaica was at its peak as the number one airline of Jamaica and the Eastern Caribbean. Thank you, Cuban in Georgia, for your message. As we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. What's on your mind this afternoon? Please feel free to share. 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And we're seeing a story of a couple of cruise ships that broke their moorings amid windy weather. Let's see if there was any report of anything life-threatening or otherwise. Maybe not, otherwise they would have led with it. Windy weather caused 2 MSC cruises and Norwegian cruise line ships to break from their moorings. MSC Sinfonia broke away from the moorings at the pier while in port in Syracuse, Italy on Saturday. The ship was blown into a nearby marina due to extremely high wind gusts reaching over 70 knots, around 80 miles per hour. Cruise line spokesperson Field Sutton, that's his name, Field Sutton. All right, we're encouraged that nothing major happened in that regard, but no doubt the captain and his team will ensure that that doesn't happen again, or the chances of it happen again will be minimized. As far as trending stories on the local scene are concerned, holiday gatherings, here we go again. We're still talking about COVID. Holiday gatherings and a new variant have driven up COVID cases globally. That's the word from the World Health Organization, WHO. And according to the story, the head of the UN Health Agency says holiday gatherings and the spread of the most prominent variant globally led to increased transmission of COVID-19 last month. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said today nearly 10,000 deaths were reported in December, while hospital admissions during the month jumped 42% in nearly 50 countries, mostly in Europe and the Americas, that shared such trend information. Although 10,000 deaths a month is far less than the peak of the pandemic, this level of preventable deaths is not acceptable, the World Health Organization Director General told reporters from its headquarters in Geneva. He said it was certain that cases were on the rise in other places that haven't been reporting, calling on governments to keep up surveillance and provide continued access to treatments and vaccines. Tedros said the JN BA.1 variant was now the most prominent in the world. It is an Omicron variant, so current vaccines should still provide some protection. Maria Van Kerkhove, technical lead at WHO for COVID-19, cited an increase in respiratory diseases across the globe due to the coronavirus, but also flu, rhinovirus, that's rhinovirus, rhinovirus, and pneumonia. We expect those trends to continue into January through the winter months in the Northern Hemisphere, she said, while noting increases in COVID-19 in the Southern Hemisphere, where it's now summer. While bouts of coughs, sniffling, fever, and fatigue in the winter are nothing new, Van Kerkhove said this year, in particular, we are seeing co-circulation of many different types of pathogens. WHO officials recommend that people get vaccinated when possible, wear masks, and make sure indoor areas are well ventilated. The vaccines may not stop you being infected, but the vaccines are certainly reducing significantly your chance of being admitted to hospital or dying, said Dr. Michael Ryan, head of emergencies at the World Health Organization. So there goes a timely update, and we'll continue to follow developments on the world stage as far as COVID-19, the flu, and related matters are concerned. Other stories, if you haven't been able to follow the news because of work obligations, the presiding judge in the trial of Gregory Roberts, the man accused of the 2017 murder of schoolgirl Shanika Gray, is expected to exercise his power to have a witness brought before the St. James Circuit Court to give evidence. It is anticipated that Justice Bertram Morrison will ask questions of the witness before Roberts' defense team opens its case later this afternoon. It's understood that the witness who is expected to be brought before the court was previously on the indictment to give evidence for the prosecution, but to date, that person has not appeared before the court. Additionally, the prosecution confirmed that one other witness, a former member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, will not be called to give evidence as they have migrated from Jamaica. The court was also told that it would not be possible for that witness to give evidence through electronic means due to conflicting schedules. It was previously anticipated that a total of 18 witnesses would testify in the Crown's case against Roberts. To date, 16 prosecution witnesses have given evidence. Roberts is being tried under allegations that he stabbed and killed Gray, a 15-year-old student at the Green Pond High School in St. James, on the 29th of January 2017. Gray's body was found in the Irwin St. James community on February 1st, 2017. So that's another of the stories trending. According to the Gleaner's website, jamaica-gleaner.com, Tickaweed killed in alleged confrontation with police is another story. And there's a picture as well. A St. James man who was listed as wanted by the police was killed during an alleged confrontation with cops in Bogue Hill, St. James on Tuesday. He's 34-year-old Kenroy Roach, otherwise called Tickaweed, a laborer of Bogue Hill. The police say a Glock pistol with a magazine containing 2 rounds was retrieved Roach had been listed as wanted for murder. The Inspectorate and Professional Standards Oversight Bureau and the Independent Commission of Investigations are probing the incident. And I think we're going to leave it there for the time being. We'll leave it there for the time being and check back in a little later on, perhaps, to see what else is trending in terms of the news. In the meantime, though, we want to hear your views on the news and all that's unfolding at home and abroad. Feel free to share with us your thoughts, your ideas, your suggestions, your concerns, your issues, your criticisms, whatever is on your mind. The lines are open. 876-922. Oops, let's take the break and come back.
The time is now
2:46 on Power 106.
Auto World. It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app. It's riveting, thought-provoking, and interesting. It's the morning agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays 7:15 to 9 a.m. Join Jody and Quarry on Mondays and Tuesdays and Sanjay Lewis on Wednesdays and Thursdays, while they alternate on Fridays as they set your agenda and break down the issues and keep you informed on what matters to you most. It's the morning agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays 7:15 to 9 a.m. only on Power 106 FM.
Here's another message coming through. Happy 2024, Dervan, and everyone tuned in to Power 106 from Kojak Country Lifestyle YouTube in Content Bogwalk. I'm hearing you very clear, my teacher. Please big up Miss Birdie at 98 and counting. That's excellent going, Miss Birdie. 98 not out. So you're seeing the ball now like a breadfruit, as they say in cricketing terms. And you might want to retake your mark as well, you know, where you mark the pitch, and take note of where your leg stump is. And once you are clear on that, you play in the V and don't go fishing outside the off stump, Miss Birdie, at 98 not out. Well done. Well done. We wish you long life and good health, as the late Winston Williams used to say. Long life, good health. May his soul continue to rest in eternal peace. Franklin McDonald has shared some more information with us. Jose Juan Aram. Jose Juan Aram was a leading authority in Latin American cultural studies and a pioneer in shaping the field in the United States at a time when most Spanish departments mainly taught about peninsular Spain. He is particularly well known for his studies of Latin American theater, Cuban culture, and lexicology, and the myths of the pre Columbian inhabitants of the Caribbean. He was a professor of Latin American literature at Yale University for nearly 40 years. Thanks for sharing Jose Juan Arom's details with us here on both sides of the story, and that's from Wikipedia. Thank you very much, Franklin McDonald. All the best. Cuban in Georgia has a lot more to say. He says, in those days, sir, we were proud to be Jamaican. We owned Air Jamaica. We owned JOS buses, transportation services throughout the 14 parishes, owned the banana farming industry, owned the sugar plantation and factories. We owned the West India Electricity Company, and many other Jamaicans owned businesses and companies. In those days, banana agricultural produce, sugar production, and bauxite exports were our biggest source of income and the greatest contributor to our GDP and economy. And we were doing well in the 1970s. So since the return of, I think you want to say here, since the return of the JLP in the 1980 elections, we have seen a drastic decrease in all of these activities to employ more Jamaicans in the workforce, and a decrease of companies want to do business with Jamaica. So, Sir Malcolm, how can we get our government and people to change this perception of Jamaica and its citizens on the ground? Well, you will always have different perceptions. We're not living in a homogeneous country. We're not all the same. We don't think the same way. We generally don't behave the same way. So our thoughts will vary. And so one way to get more definitive data is by commissioning some kind of a survey. And then you'll be able to arrive at conclusions that can be backed up by the data. There's your answer, Cuban in Georgia. Hope you find it sufficient. As we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5, 876-922-4112 to 5. And we look forward to your usual participation. After all, it is your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. So the lines are open to you, over to you, and your thoughts and ideas and suggestions. And we look forward to your full participation in that regard. In the meantime, we continue with more here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Let's go to the year 1912. What's the significance of that year again? Well, the founding of Calabar High School was 1912. The establishment of the Ward Theatre was 1912. What else am I forgetting in 1912? Anyway, Also in 1912, the world's first flying boat airplane, the world's first flying boat airplane, designed by Glenn Curtiss, Glenn Curtiss, made its maiden flight at Hammondsport. Now, here in Jamaica, on the 3rd of December 1930, the first commercial flight, Pan American Consolidated Commodore, a twin-engined flying boat, landed in the Kingston Harbor. At 10 o'clock, the first plane, a twin-motored Commodore 32-passenger plane, piloted by Commander Schultz, would alight in the Kingston Harbor and tie up at a barge, which would be anchored off the west end of the city, and there would discharge the first airmail packages ever to arrive in Jamaica. That's a bit of history. Some more for you. On this day in 1916, all roads led to Knutsford Park to witness the flying exhibition, which had been looked forward to with such eager anticipation for the past week, when aviator Fred Dekor, Dekor, appearing in Jamaica under the exclusive direction of Fred E. Young, formerly of the Young Aeroplane Company, USA, gave a couple of most sensational flights. The attendance was good. The stands were full to capacity, and the grounds contained a large number of spectators. People came from all over the island. Or did sensational flying over Knutsford Park, which is now known as New Kingston, by the way. The crowd delighted. The airman went up fully 2,000 feet and then volplaned earthwards. He was scheduled to go up again on Thursday, the 13th of January, 1916. The ad for that display read as follows: Grand Aviation Meeting at Knutsford Park Racecourse under the distinguished patronage of His Excellency the Governor in aid of the Jamaica Aeroplane Fund on Thursday, January 13, 1916 at 4:30 p.m. Mr. Fred Dekor, Premier Loop-the-Loop Aviator of the USA, will loop the loop in his 100 horsepower tractor biplane. Admission, grandstand, what's the S for again? Remind me of, this is Jamaican money before we created our own. What's it? Tuppence, pence, pound, shilling, and pence, or something like that. And well, maybe you could help us with the S. 3S for grandstand and 2S for the grounds. Somebody will tell us what that means in today's terms. And here's another piece of history. Jamaica used to train kings. Kings used to be trained in Jamaica. Yes, we're not making up a story. 1919, the last hereditary king of the Miskito territory, Miskito, the last hereditary king of the Miskito territory, Robert Henry Clarence, died in Kingston, Jamaica. On this day in 1908, at age 35, Robert Henry Clarence had been a pensioner of the British Crown, resident in Jamaica since August 1894, in compensation for the deprivation of his former status when the Nicaraguan government took possession of the Mosquito Shore. Today, the former Mosquito territory includes the very anglicized settlement of Bluefields in Spanish-speaking Nicaragua.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
Real It's the season, and One Spot Media has a special gift for you and your family. Get 30% off our 6 month subscription plan and receive 1 month free special access to Cleanup Premium. Dive into this world of exclusive content and enjoy live TV, live radio, thousands of hours of video on demand, the e-cleaner, events, podcasts, and more. Simply log into onespotmedia.com and purchase the 6 month subscription plan. Get in with the joy of the holidays, all in one spot. Offer ends January 31. Conditions apply.
the following are the nominees for the RGR Venus Sports Foundation Sportswoman of the Year 2023. Rochelle Clayton, Diamond League Final and World Championships bronze medalist in the 400-meter hurdle. Janine Fowler, the top goal scorer and highest percentage shooter at the Netball World Cup in South Africa. Shelley Ann Fraser Price, the bronze medalist in the 100 meters at the World Championships and the silver medalist in the 4x100 meters relay. Sharika Jackson, the gold medalist in the 200 meters with the second fastest time in history at the World Championships, silver medalist in both the 100 meters and the sprint relay at that event, and the double winner for the 100 and 200 meters at the Diamond League Final. Daniel Williams, who ran the second fastest time by a Jamaican in the 100-meter hurdles and copped the gold medal at the World Championships in Budapest. Tune in to TVJSN and One Spot Media on Friday, January 19 at 8:30 p.m. and discover the winner. Brought to you by CM Group, J-Red Review Limited, Wissinko Group, Jamaica Pegasus Hotel, Main Event Entertainment Group, FYI Consultancy, and the RGR Leader Communications Group.
So Jamaica had a long association with the people of the Mosquito Shore, Miskito, Mosquito Shore of Central America. In fact, when America's first tycoon, Cornelius Vanderbilt, landed in Greytown near Punta Arenas on January 4, 1851, as part of his shipping interests, he encountered a lot of Jamaicans. His encounter is described as follows. Going ashore, Vanderbilt found a shanty port populated by 300 Americans, Mosquito Indians, mestizos, and the English authorities consisting chiefly of Negroes from Jamaica, all mingled together with the utmost freedom and in total disregard of those conventionalities which are founded on caste, social class system. Just goes to show that living in harmony, regardless of race, color, or creed, is what it means to be a Jamaican, out of many one. And we've been living that motto even before it became our motto. Cornelius Vanderbilt must have suffered a culture shock to see these so-called Negroes of Jamaica in what was and to this day is ostensibly Nicaragua, to see these Negroes of Jamaica living in harmony with the Americans, mestizos, and Mosquito Indians. Another side of the story, we'll tell you about that in a little while. There's more. Well, let's go to the phone lines, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Welcome.
Mr. Marco, there was a crime incident on Maxfield Avenue there, where a policeman lost his weapon, and he was injured too, and he's in hospital. What I didn't understand is, was he alone, or was another officer with him?
The information remains a little sketchy. I'm not sure. Not sure. We could perhaps see if we can speak with what's her proper title, Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay.
Right.
to see if she is able to update us on, first of all, the health status of the policeman.
Yes, because I was wondering if he was alone. I didn't hear the news. I just heard people talking on the radio about it and quite the totality of it all. And I was wondering if he was alone and how come he was surprised like that
Yes,
by a stranger in his personal space. And I just didn't get it. Thank God he was a kid,
yes,
but I don't quite understand. Like I said, when you speak to the officer in
yes.
charge of the news,
Yeah, we'll see if we can get a little more.
yes, sir, all right then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Yes.
the call. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, 40106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5, 876-922-4112 to 5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can also call us on WhatsApp 876 365 3346. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, just want to shed some light on the thing you're reading with the money and so on.
Yes, yes,
So,
please.
okay, so it was on Shane and Penny.
Mhm.
Before that, we are familiar with dollar. Dollar is a SB2, so it's coming down, right?
Right.
Good. Now, what happens is that D is a penny, could be a penny too.
Mhm.
I believe, I don't remember, guys. I just said it to a couple of weeks ago. And I believe, I know that the pen and the
Yes.
penny shilling and the other kinds of phone. But I trying to remember if the D, like 2 pence, 2D. But I have a feeling that the D was elevated like when you're writing the fourth. You write the 4 and then TH. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
If you're writing fourth, you write the 4
Mm-hmm.
and then you write TH.
Right.
And the TH is not just written beside, not always. It's written at the same level as the 4.
Oh.
In some cases, it is elevated. That's what we're using to compare. So there's a word they use for it. As you write in second, and you write 2, and then write ND. The ND is not always written at the same level. It is elevated a little, almost like where you would put an apostrophe. You understand that?
Uh-huh.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's where you put the D. So you got with the 2 and then the D. That is two pens.
Oh.
And one with the penny. So that's why I say good stand up and everything. Now the S is for shilling, like that you have the 3 while ago, the 3 shilling and 2 S. And the pound now, you know the pound sign?
Yes.
Right, well, you know, well, the pound is the pound sign. Is a kind of L
Yes.
and two strokes in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's pound shilling and pen.
Okay.
Uh,
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
you're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Cleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5, whatever is on your mind. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello, good afternoon. Lost that caller. Sorry about that. Let's continue. 876-922-4112 to 5. Here's a response to something that was said by someone earlier on, a caller earlier on. This person is saying, that person is posting nonsense. It is since the end of 1960s and during the 1970s that industries were destroyed. Goodyear factory in St. Thomas, Free Zone on Marcus Garvey Drive, and the list goes on and on. says this person. Cuban in Georgia says, Sir Malcolm, I'm only lightning these, or you mean enlightening? Enlightening these something is not right here. I'm only, or is it highlighting you want to say? I'm only highlighting these observations for the young people to know the extent of the ties between Jamaica and Cuba, signed between former Prime Minister Michael Manley and former Cuban President Fidel Castro in Havana, Cuba, in July of 1976. Thank you very much for your message and all the very best. Here's another call coming through, this time on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please. There's another call coming through, this time.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
Dervan, you know what I want to ask you today? Have you ever done a survey or find out how many politicians uses the Kingston Public Hospital as a mean of going there to seek medical help?
No, I've never done any such survey.
Okay. Dervan, I'm asking you, please, in one of your in upcoming shows, you would find someone from the Kingston Public Hospital to ask them if ever recently, if any people of we'll call the bourgeois, if they have ever go to the public hospital to seek medical help. Can you do that for us, please?
No, I'm not trained in that kind of data gathering, so I would be of no help to you.
Yes, but Dervan, you are a journalist.
Technically speaking, no. I'm a broadcaster.
Okay.
who dabbles in journalism.
But Dervan, and a more serious issues. Have you ever been in a situation where someone get injured, especially in the public, and you see the fracas and the thing that that person have to go through to get help to reach hospital?
If I've ever seen that? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
No.
Well, Dervan, I'll tell you, I've seen person being injured, and I'm not going to mention but great injury, and they have to be transported on cart and in wheelbarrow to.
Hold a moment, please. One moment, please. One moment.
The Newspaper Iconic Award is one of the most prestigious awards presented to sports icons annually. Watch TVJSN, and One Spot Media on Friday, January 19 at 8:30 p.m. to find out who will be the elect recipient of this highly prized award. Brought to you by CM Group, J. Red Nephew Limited, Wissinco Group, Jamaica Pegasus Hotel, Main Event Entertainment Group, FYI Consultancy, and the RGR Vino Communications Group. The following are the nominees for the RGR Vino Sports Foundation Sportsman of the Year 2023. Tajay Gale, the silver medalist at the Diamond League final and the bronze medalist at the World Championships in the long jump. Shaheel Hyde, the gold medalist in the 400-meter hurdles at the Pan American Games. Fraser McConnell, multiple winner of Rallycross events in 2023. Hansel Parchment, the silver medalist in the 110-meter hurdles at the World Championships, gold medalist at the Diamond League final, and the fastest man for the event in 2023. Wayne Pinnock, the long jumper with the year's best jump of 8.54 meters, and the silver medalist for the event at the World Championships.
Thanks for holding. Please continue.
Yes, Dervan. I must tell you that I have seen where police have been working like both crime fighters and paramedic at the same time. And Dervan, you know the funny thing about it, sometime a person can get injured from the police, and then it is the same police that have to bring that victim to hospital in Dervan. And you have sometime the citizen after jumping some vehicle to follow behind the police to make sure that them bring the person straight to hospital, and that can be very frustrating, you know, Dervan.
Yeah, where it's the absence of an emergency medical service. That's what is lacking. There are one or two ambulances attached to one or two hospitals. I think that
Dervan, ambulance should be in the streets. You know, the streets ready to save life, you know, Dervan. But this is what is really happening to us when we have a corruption and free market economy. The poorer class are always suffer the most.
Well, if that has been your experience, then you can only speak to your experience. So it is what it is. And the question now is, how do we extricate ourselves from this place?
Well, Dervan, I'll just ask you to give me just a minute to speak to the Jamaican public, and I'm not going to be political or.
Well, you just spoiled it. Why did you have to spoil it? Why did you have to spoil it? Just go ahead and express yourself. You don't need to mention that. You're not obligated to anybody in that regard. You can speak your mind. You're a free citizen in a democracy.
Jamaican people, I'm telling you that between this year to 2025 is election years, and I am asking you, please, if we cannot get what we want for the next 2 to 3 year, I don't know when it is going to happen. And I'm telling you, these are the things that we must hold our officials for, and we must start doing it now. We need services like things like ambulances in the street to save our lives. We need not just good hospital alone, but we need services like ambulances whereby if a person get injured in the streets, the chance of reaching hospital is just as much if if a doctor was at your door. So I'm asking you, all Jamaican, don't make the next 2 to 3 year pass, and you don't see to it that your officials put these things in place. And therefore, I must thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to my beloved countrymen. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thanks for the call. All the best.
Okay.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Cleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. Hubert Fowlin says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan Malcolm, both sides of the story, and Poro 106 FM. Good afternoon, Hubert Fowlin. Good to get your message. Faywella says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and faithful listeners. May the good Lord bless this program. Thank you very much, Faywella. Let's go back to the phone lines, 876-922-4112 to 5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Good afternoon. I am giving thanks for life. And you?
First one is the lady lawyer. That spoke to young mother. It's Gloria Brown. I think yesterday, and people here of the children and studying and education. I think what she brought is a real significant mother, woman, family that's really concerned about our education, the education for our children, because a lot of us are ignoring. And it is like when people are young, our experience with about our education and this put us to do towards it we did not do. And like you said, today, it seems like the children are really experience because, I put it right, that sometimes these children use their tablet and their smartphone. They do not study. But I was the gentleman whose wife of their teacher, and I was frightened what I heard. Some of the children say, the teacher, that's why your son to school, you can't stay home. And the, one of them even got married, and the teacher that she's a beautiful girl, and she brings their punishment. And
Did we have to go there?
but, that was what I was told, and I just
Yes, but my late mother would say, I know everything good for eat, good for talk.
it's not really good to talk, but more because she was really, she never ever touched that is talk about real at all thing like that. And when I gave it to Monday, and it was being this was told to me, and I often said it to Dr. Taylor. It is really serious for this country, you know.
We have been for some time. I've been hearing that expression for many, many decades. Well, that's my brief time on this earth. Yeah.
As a school board chairman for such long time. And it was a few years ago. It was like that. Anyway, the other thing I want to say is this. People used to live in Portmore, and this is in Portmore. I remember when they were doing the highway. They were doing it. They were constructing it. The part of it into Portmore. I acted to them that the side road should be made into a double line. Should be double line. Because at the side road has offshore. And it is just easy to double up the road. And
You mean to convert it into a dual carriageway?
Saying that it has been done and it was done as quick as possible. And if you live in Portmore, you know at the time what they did instead of
No, I don't know. I think there's a differentiation between
the dive
Portmore and Waterford. I don't know.
road, it run along Waterford.
Mm.
The dive road run right along Waterford up to where the new island is now, the Patrick Island. And I think that now that it's dangerous. I don't think you drive there when I'm Portmore because of the amount of people that use that side road. And I don't think forward this time, the standard, the political standard could not even like it was it should have been a trial. And now that the mandate, if most people that is coming from man, anybody coming from man, they are coming down, going down south. They just come out, get on the dive road and then get on the Portmore and then the Portmore and then they drive on Marcus Garvey Drive. And the road has become very dangerous. And I hope that the politicians realize that this is something they have to do now. Because the longer they take the construction, the more money it's going to cost. Because if they had been then, when they were doing the section support more.
Hold a moment, please.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency
is 8:30.
The College of Agriculture Science and Education Alumni Association presents their annual Founders Day weekend activities. Friday, January 26th, Intellectual Stimulation Day. Lloyd Green, the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, will open the Technical Symposium. Saturday, January 27th, Inspiration Motivational Day with keynote speaker Minister Fable Williams. And Sunday, January 28th, Thanksgiving Day with an ecumenical service. The College of Agriculture Science and Education case, celebrating our legacy, creating a vision of excellence.
The following are the nominees for the RJ Arena Sports Foundation Sportswoman of the Year 2023. Rochelle Clayton, Diamond League Final and World Championships bronze medalist in the 400-meter hurdles. Janine Fowler, the top goal scorer and highest percentage shooter at the Netball World Cup in South Africa. Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, the bronze medalist in the 100 meters at the World Championships and the silver medalist in the 4x100 meters relay. Sharika Jackson, the gold medalist in the 200 meters with the second fastest time in history at the World Championships, silver medalist in both the 100 meters and the sprint relay at that event, and the double winner for the 100 and 200 meters at the Diamond League Final. Daniel Williams, who ran the second fastest time by a Jamaican in the 100-meter hurdles and copped the gold medal at the World Championships in Budapest. Tune in to TVJ, TVJSN, and One Spot Media on Friday, January 19 at 8:30 p.m. and discover the winner. Brought to you by VM Group, J. Red Nephew Limited, Wissinko Group, Jamaica Pegasus Hotel, Main Event Entertainment Group, FYI Consultancy, and the RGR Dealer Communications Group.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can also call us on WhatsApp, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. You were saying?
So that it's just the people that is going into sport now, that it will not affect their justice path. You just need it so that you think it, so that it goes to take you straight and the highway. And I think that those things that do not cost a lot of money to do. But we just like to do things the hazard in Jamaica. If you go to see the Trinidad, you show the way to sell this road over so that you can, one road can go under it, you can drive on top of one. And it does not hold up the traffic because the amount of people that is in Jamaica now and the amount that are in the car park, very soon it will take you just an hour or two to get from point A to point B, just 10 or 20 kilometers. And no country that decides to be productive cannot expect to be productive, and this productivity, you're really serious about about the spending of the country because you're going to have to create wealth, and if you're going to create wealth, your infrastructure has to be properly done. You cannot be like what you're doing in down in Chile, you don't put back up there, and that is the access to where some of the yellow yams like it's going. You cannot get somebody to your ambulance and use it for a place like Nigeria, and you say you don't have $50,000. So why are government shouldn't those things that is so important to the development of our country? Shouldn't our people really give those things priority? And they are not given. Why are they entering the public life?
Yes, in an ideal situation, yes, the state has a duty to provide for its citizens, whether it be in healthcare, national security, uh, infrastructure. The onus is on the state to deliver.
You know, after I know that it is the war, and this is it, you have to, this is the recompense of war is here, and they never have the money. But when they want money to other things, they put down a draw line and come up so easily. Do we have our priority wrong? Do we have our priority wrong? Our future is our future to see that they are properly educated, whatever it's called. The discipline that's necessary is done so well. Consciousness is not something you can buy on a shelf. We were in a real youngsters. Why some of us like we went to poverty, but we went to school and we did what we had to do. And the same for the budget for all other generations. In the meantime, we should keep things at its time. So, as you said, that my brother, you have a good and about happy, and for the fourth and teaching for this year.
24. Yes, indeed. Happy 24 to you too. All right. Thanks for the call. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. We have another call coming in, 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, brother.
Good afternoon.
For some reason, when I'm on the line listening, when I'm on the phone line listening, I can't hear the caller. I couldn't hear TK a while ago, so I'm not sure if it's my end or your end. For some reason, I could barely hear what he was saying.
Ideally,
So
we're
I'm
not
sure.
supposed to be doing this, ideally, because then you can sometimes get a feedback. But because we are serving our members of the broader listenership, we try to include those on Facebook and on YouTube. And in order for them to hear, those who are communicating with us to hear, we usually have to position the earphones and so that you could hear. So all we need to do is just to turn up the volume, basically.
Okay. I was trying to call Jason today, but
I couldn't get in for some reason in the line. Though I got into the RJR group at one point. The line just, I don't know if it's, again, I don't know if it's if the instrument I was using or what, but this is not the first time it's happening. The line seems to be crossing sometimes. I'm not sure why. Anyhow, that I get you. I wish you had told that gentleman that call, the one that was talking about the ambulance, that there is an ambulance in the wharf right now, was given to Jamaica free of cost. And for some reason, the Jamaican government is telling Treasure Foundation that there's a quota and the quota is, we have gone over the quota already, so that's why they can't get it off. And I'm not sure if it is the one that, and I'm not sure if one or the other, but also there's some $30,000 is mentioned. I'm not sure for what. I think if somebody's giving something on a charity, why they need $30,000, but there's an ambulance.
No, the figure is actually not 30,000. I mean, it's more than 20,000. I don't want to give the wrong information. So more than, just to be safe, more than 20,000 US dollars. Yes.
I think that's a disgrace, Dervan. And the gentleman there was saying that this country need ambulance service. They need ambulances. It's when you're sick and you can save a life, or if you're sick and that's going to save your life, you need to go into an ambulance. You need to go into ambulance, not a car trunk, not a car per se, because you need to lay down, you need to be stretched out properly, especially if you meet an accident. You need to protect your neck, your spinal cord. They need to have the proper instrument in the ambulance. So if you go into a cardiac arrest, they can revive you. And you can train, volunteer, give them stipend people. You could train them to operate these ambulances. I don't know, Dervan. I don't know why are we missing this low-hanging fruit. Right here in the US, I guarantee you, if the government wanted to, and if they were willing, people can source ambulances right here from the US that just do some little work and then make sure that they bring them back and, make sure that the proper instrument in place, make sure, you probably take out certain things, put in new ones or whatever. And I don't know, you put these ambulances in major towns and you train, put them in the fire department or next to the fire station, and you train volunteer people to volunteer or give them some stipend, give all the money there and there to, to help them out. And I know people who train to operate these ambulances, Dervan. Why we can't do this, Dervan? Why?
Maybe people just don't know that or don't believe that it can be done.
I don't think so, Dervan. It's like, I don't know, I'm starting getting the feeling in Jamaica, if something is not in there for you, you can't scrape something, you're not, people are not interested. I'm getting that feeling, Dervan. I don't know. I don't know why people can be that way. And not every time something's going to be in there for you. There's something you want to give back, man. It's good to give back when you're alive. When you're strong and hard and can give back, it's good to give back. Sometimes something is nothing is going to be in there for you, but it's going to be the good for the good of the community. Sometimes that's how it works. It could be, it could be a grandmother, it could be a mother, it could be a child, it could be, whoever. It's for the good. And you mentioned something about being capitalist country or democracy. My brother, don't mix it up with being corrupt. Corruption have nothing to do with it. There are a lot of countries who.
How does no? It sounds like you're conflating matters now. Hold a moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45.
The following are the nominees for the RJ Arena Sports Foundation Sportswoman of the Year 2023. Rochelle Clayton, Diamond League Final and World Championships bronze medalist in the 400-meter hurdles. Janine Fowler, the top goal scorer and highest percentage shooter at the Netball World Cup in South Africa. Shelly Ann Fraser Price, the bronze medalist in the 100 meters at the World Championships and silver medalist in the 4x100 meters relay. Sharika Jackson, the gold medalist in the 200 meters with the second fastest time in history at the World Championships, silver medalist in both the 100 meters and the sprint relay at that event, and a double winner for the 100 and 200 meters at the Diamond League Final. Daniel Williams, who ran the second fastest time by a Jamaican in the 100-meter hurdles and copped the gold medal at the World Championships in Budapest. Tune in to TVJ, TVJSN, and One Spot Media on Friday, January 19 at 8:30 p.m. and discover the winner. Brought to you by VM Group, J. Red Review Limited, Wisinco Group, Jamaica Pegasus Hotel, Main Event Entertainment Group, FYI Consultancy, and the RJ Arglino Communications Group.
Thanks for holding. So where are you going now? Come again. Hold on. Go ahead. Hold on. Go ahead now.
Yeah, sorry. He said that this is what happened when living to a corrupt capitalist country or something like that.
Who said that?
That was on the one that actually stutter a little bit. The
Okay.
one was on. I was talking about it makes some good points, but I'm saying he said I don't know if you have heard what he said. He said this is what happened when you live into a capitalist, corrupt capitalist country. So I just want to say to him that being corrupt has nothing to do with capitalism or whatever, or socialism. If you're corrupt, you're corrupt. There are a lot of people who just corrupt. I just want to find that out.
Yes, hear you loud and clear.
I mean, there are more countries that are capitalist, democracy, who practice democracy and capitalism are doing much better than countries who are practicing so-called socialism. So, if you have the will of the people and you have the people heart, you will do well. One quick point I want to bring out there, Dervan. I don't know the Prime Minister. I don't know if it was a conference what I heard on your station. He was in Montego Bay at the Montego Bay bypass for Perimeter Road, and he made some updates, but I didn't get it. I didn't get fully because I was, in and out trying to do some stuff. Is there any way, I don't know, anyone can probably pick up what the Prime Minister said? Because I don't know. I'm sure trying to see if it's in any writing. I was on the newscast, but he said something about I think one party rule going to be told. And another time, when these official people make a statement, they don't do it in a way where they can get question and answer, where people can ask questions. Are the journalists, are reporters, are broadcasters, you want to call it?
You should be able to call the Jamaica Information Service. They have come a far way, and they seem to be at a better place right now in terms of how they disseminate information having to do with national development. It shouldn't be hard to get that information. It shouldn't be hard to get that information from GIS. They'll be happy to send it as well, because they send it out through the Jamaica's missions across the world, whether it be in the United Kingdom, in Canada, in New York, in Florida, etc. They do share the information.
No, what I think I heard I heard something on the Jamaica
Jamaica
some
Magazine.
broadcast something like that. Yeah. Well, but it's from my thing, but I like information that is full, and I like when these official people, politicians, I like when they ask, we can ask them questions, and they come forward and let you know what they know. If they don't know, they make notes and can go back and come back with some answers. Because the more the people are informed, is a better decision that they can make. And a lot of times, I think one of our problem is that we don't inform the Jamaican people enough. And that's my take on that.
That's fine.
I would love to know. Huh?
That's fine.
Yeah, but I would love to know what the update. I know you said it's coming along the bypass, because we need that in Montego Bay. Well needed. I think it's one part going to be told and one part not going to be told. So I'd like to know, what part going to be told. How far are we? What can we expect, and when can we expect? Some completion of our part of it completed. So I'm just hoping that maybe I can hear. I know there's some amateur people doing some amateur stuff. They drive around and try to figure what's going on and post it on YouTube. Fine, I don't great. But I like try to come straight from the government mouth. So maybe even that Dervan, I think he's the Minister of Road and whatever road. He's one who for the Minister of Roads, and I'm not sure what else. But I wish he can come one day and even your program and explain some program and explain what's going on, some of these roadways that they're doing, because they're doing some good things in Dervan, and that's the thing about this government. Sometimes they're doing some good things. We bash them a lot, but they're doing some good things. Look at that leg of highway that just opened up in to go up to St. Thomas. It's a huge improvement, man. I am not so much for the toll roads, them, but if you can bring the prices of the toll down, so the masses of the people can drive on them, I think it's not a bad thing. But when you have a toll so high, I don't know. That's so even with the Montego Bay part, I don't know. That's why I like to know where if it's gonna be toll. Hey, listen, if it's gonna be toll, we can't manage maybe a couple of $100, man. Not. I think if you price it reasonably, people will use it. But if you have it extraordinary high, people are not gonna use it. So that's what I want to know, so we can start the lobbying, we can start the conversation.
Yes.
And then a quick thing there with Ren, I think from Canada, said about technology and crime. I stand on Dervan. It's so correct. But that's not that only. Yes, technology. We've got to incorporate technology to fight crime. But so the courthouse have to be upgraded. Have to be comfortable. So the prison system, we can't. If you're gonna operate people, and put them in prison, we can't throw them in a bit. Just throw them against one wall and Dervan. I say, because you commit that crime, you're gonna punish. You're gonna end this thing like a pig style and Dervan. Because you create another. What you're doing when you do that, you create a hardened criminal. Get me? You are creating a hardened criminal. So we need a prison system, especially for juveniles, that when they go there, they go to reform. And I hope we can get some of these youths who commit these petty crimes, right, before they go to the harder crimes such as murder, we get them off the street. Get them in these reform prison system where they learn. If they can't read and write, they learn the basic of reading and writing. They learn a skill. So when they leave, they can find they can be employed. This thing we talk about unemployment law, and we have 700 out of 3 million people. We have 700,000 people who are not in the workforce. Well, what kind of nonsense is Dervan? What kind of nonsense is that? You tell me.
I don't know if that's what the experts have found. Then they need to inform the decision makers and take action.
I tell you, Dervan, I said, when people quote numbers to me, I always have to go looking and read between these numbers, because anybody can create and quote numbers. But if you have a country of 3 million or less than 3 million people and 700,000 people who are supposed to be in the workforce is not in the workforce, you can't be more about our low unemployment because you have 700,000 people who are not in the workforce.
Well, it's the same numbers, it's the same people who have been doing this kind of work and clearly have a reputation, a solid reputation for the work that they have been doing. Obviously, they're not perfect, but they apparently do a very good job at gathering the data and disseminating it.
Dervan is not in number. Nobody's Christian in number. What I'm saying though, if I go, we're speaking, I don't know, if I go to a community that 90% of the people here, 95% are employable, they can, in other words, those people in the workforce at any given time. Some of them have skills, some of them have education, whatever you want to call it. That's a better picture of looking at unemployment rate in a community. Because we know that if 5% of the people are working, say 5%, chances are those 5% they're looking for work. They're employable. They just at that moment they just can't find a work in the area, whatever it is. But when you go to a community and majority of those people are not in the workforce because they are not employable, that number you're quoting me to me, it doesn't mean much.
Do you have a copy of the research that was done?
No, this is the point I'm making to you is that if you have a country.
No, I'm just asking a question.
If I have a copy?
Mm.
No, I have a copy, but I read the report.
I see. And what did the report say? Just repeat what the report said.
Okay, so I didn't right now. Jamaica has an unemployment rate of, I think, somewhere 5-6%, somewhere in that range.
4.9%.
Oh, okay, 5.95%. Okay. However, though, those are people who are, and that's what we go internationally. I don't understand. No problem. That's why we work internationally. Those are people who are gainfully are employable. In other words, they're in the workforce. However, though, the problem in Jamaica, you have a large part of the population is not in that pool. So it's just like voting. If X amount of people are supposed to can vote at any given moment, okay, this verse speaks this verse 100,000 people supposed to can vote. Okay, and those are the people, they register, they can register at age, whatever, they are the voting population. But only 25% of the people vote. It's not a healthy democracy. In the same way I'm trying to explain to you when it comes to the unemployment situation, it's not a healthy unemployment number because of all those people who are outside of the labor force. So
what is your solution? What is your solution?
So my solution, again, we have to get, number one, to the younger people. We have to get them where they are employable from an early age. So reading and writing is very important. If you can't read and write, you almost, in other words, you literally can't learn anything else. So reading and writing is very important, and can speak. especially English. You know, no, nothing. I'm not nothing patois, but can speak English. But then we have to say to young people, say, listen.
All right, tell you what.
I think we have to
Let's give you a rain check because you've been on for a while and we need to get in some more responses.
Right. No problem. So, but I just want to finish up by saying that I would make
No,
sure
hold on, please. Hold on, please.
Yes, sir.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
A minute past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now would be a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. Yes, sir. Let's wrap now, please. Yes.
I would make sure reading and writing, especially in those schools who are not doing well, these children can learn to read and write, because without that, you're not going to learn. It's very difficult to go forward. And then, of course, especially at those schools who are in a city, are trade. They gotta learn some trade, Dervan. Farming is not bad neither. Learn something, man. So that even if you don't move on to university or whatever it is, you can at least start somewhere. You start something that you can live on for the rest of your life.
We hear you loud and clear. It's been 38 minutes and 46 seconds.
Yeah, man. Thanks for listening to me, Dervan. Have a nice day.
You too. Thanks for the call. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Good afternoon to Velta Wilson. Thank you for tuning in. Raskava was helping us out with pounds, shillings, and pence. Thank you very much, Raskava. Pound, LSD, pound, shilling, and pence. Penny, halfpenny or halfpenny. Sixpence or sixpence. Threepence, threepence or threepence. 3 pennies make the threepence, he writes. 1 penny and a half a penny, quatty, equal quatty. Twopence a penny. 2 pennies, what's this, plus half penny, equal twopence a penny. 1 penny plus half penny equal quatty, penny here, penny. All right, I don't know if I did justice to that, but these are the examples of samples of the currencies that were being used in Jamaica up to, when was it? When did it change? It changed in, was it 66? Or somewhere up there. Right. So thank you very much, Raskava, for the information. We're going to have to study it. Thank you. Horace, otherwise known as Spider, says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. I remember back in 1976 and the 80s, the bigger guys in the community have to cut up old from something is missing here, from bicycle frame to make one pop gun to try and keep out the other side from invading the community, because the one pop could not keep out men with machine guns. If it wasn't for the WPJ, a lot more Jamaicans would have died. It was an all-out attack to kill all of who they could kill. If it wasn't for the WPJ, only God knows what would happen. Is it the WPJ have to intervene to save a lot of Jamaicans? Someone needs to write a book so the young people know what was really taking place in Jamaica. All that 150 old people who were burnt at that old people's homes or poorhouse. A lot of people who were involved, I think, are still around in politics, making laws in Jamaica. Those words from Horace, otherwise known as Spider. Well, if that's your experience, it's your experience. There's a saying along those lines as well. Take no one's word for anything, including mine, but trust your experience. Take no one's word for anything, including mine, but trust your experience. And the message goes on. Where does this? Let's see, collective. I'm trying to find where this originates. Let's see. I read up there already. Sir Malcolm, we read that one already. Former Prime Minister Michael Manley had the right plan along with the West Indies Federation, and the people at the time voted against Michael Manley and the Federation, and instead voted for Mr. Siaga and the CIA, and now the people are paying a heavy price for such decisions for generations to come. And we as collective citizens have to fix these problems in order for Jamaica to move forward and provide public services for the citizens in this new dispensation. Sir Malcolm, when I was going to school, I remember receiving food from the Cuban government under Fidel Castro. Sir Malcolm, we've wasted our resources from we got independence under every JLP administration. If it was PNP, we under for that extended. Something is missing here. If it was PNP, we under for that extended time. Jamaica would have progressed more forward than what we have with the JLP administration. They have not been addressing the issue plight of the nation and citizens, and continue to turn a blind eye to the issue at hand, that is of utmost importance to the livelihood of the citizens of Jamaica. The PNP would have done a better job if it wasn't for Eddie and the foreign interference of international interests, because I'm sure the West Indies Federation would have done a better job than what we're seeing now from the capitalist regime, writes Cuban in Georgia. And here's another one. Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Can you please send belated birthday greetings to Mother, Mrs. Ernest, or is it Emmett? Looks like Ernest, Mrs. Ernest Barnaby of Kilmarnock in Westmoreland. She was 100 years old on Monday, January 8, 2024. Well, happy birthday. Happy 100th to Mrs. Ernest Barnaby of Kilmarnock in Westmoreland, who turned 100 on Monday. Wishing her good health and God's blessings. Greetings coming from her children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, other relatives, and friends. Hope she heard. Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary, says, Mr. Malcolm, with regard to the currency, there was also what's this? Gill, Gill. I don't remember how much is Jill or Gill, Gill. Well, when you remember, you can share it. Let's continue with more of your calls, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hello, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon, Mr. Coombs.
All right, this we know. We'll complain, you know.
Yes.
And if we're wrong, tell me to be wrong. The reason why we use that for the thing, you know, the call, you know. You see, when you read the history, I would suggest that the producer make a sign to you so somebody in line. That is my opinion. Everybody want to hear the thing. But what I'm saying, no, when you read the history, you guys are right. I want to stop there and take a call, but something that we too long.
I gather you got two bites of the cherry earlier on. Uh-huh. So, and I'm just getting the details from behind the scenes of what happened. Yeah, but Mr. Coombs, what's the problem?
The problem now, you were talking about the teacher was talking about money. Let me tell you, him can't read so good. Let me tell you my history. You have, all right, 4 make 1 penny, 20 penny make 1 shilling, 20 shilling make 1 pound, 21 shilling make 1 guinea. What on the exercise book cover? 4 make 1 penny, 12 penny make 1 shilling, 20 shilling make 1 pound, 21 shilling make 1 guinea. Mostly I used to charge 1 guinea to write letter. You get the shilling now of write stamp and write the paper and you get the pound. That's my history, all right. You have 4 make 1 penny. You have 5, no, hold on. You have 5, you have 8 penny, you have penny, you have 2 pence, you have 6 pence, you have 6 pence, you have shilling, you have 2 shilling, and you have 2 and 6 pence piece. You get it?
I'm listening.
Yeah, that is it. So that is my history. What is shilling? The money changed 1969.
Oh, 69.
Yeah, 69. I started work at Dervan when I was 68. And it's 1 year after it changed.
Okay.
But my personal officer, don't the personal officer. Welfare officer name is Denison. She has to teach people when they had a change. Let me tell you, I want to mistake. A 10 cent equal a shilling.
Okay.
So when it changed, all right, you have a kid that got 40 million anyway. So they remember 1 million.
Yes, I know about it. Tutti Frutti. Yes.
The Tutti Frutti was a shilling. 1 shilling. When it changed, we buy 1 you believe me? I mean, if we pay 10 cents and 2 cents more. And the same lady tell me, say, 10 cents can't buy. So, Monsieur said, well, so, Mr. Nice, you know, if I send me, you know. And, you know, I would buy talk. And I said, oh, you must mislead people, you know. But me approach the office. And me don't want me, she got to tell the manager, you know. The manager called me up. Me don't want them to go face with me, you know. So, we make sure the car get with me, you know. Yeah, man.
Yes.
We're not going to go for it.
All right.
But at least you can be supervisor, something that said, Mr. Coombs, you. So, me don't want to
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Coombs. we have to go to another break. All right. Thanks for the call.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 4:15. The following are the nominees for the R.J. Arglina Sports Foundation Sportswoman of the Year 2023. Rochelle J. Red Review Limited, Wisinko Group, Jamaica Pegasus Hotel, Main Event Entertainment Group, FYI Consultancy, and the R.J. Arglina Communications Group.
Rebel Salute celebrates 30, and you're in for a pay-per-view treat. Join OneSpotMedia.com from January 19 to 20 for the live and unlimited coverage of Rebel Salute. Enjoy exhilarating performances by Marcia Griffith, Queen Africa, and more. Purchase a season pass ticket for US $40.99 or a day pass for US $25.99 each. Log into OneSpotMedia.com, select the pay-per-view tab, and buy your ticket. You may also download the OneSpot Media app and watch on the go. Conditions apply.
17 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32, Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the students listening to us, all the schoolers from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. As we continue with today's edition of Both Sides of the Story, we see some messages coming in. Charles James says the listener calling about the shortage of ambulances needs to be reminded of the high crime rate, draining the resources of the healthcare system. Thank you, Charles James, for your message. Morgan Baylor says a whole time travel by the Carver, in reference to Ras Carver's suite, S-U-I-T-E, of historical facts when it comes on to the Jamaican money and related matters. Asha Ash says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan, just tuning in from London, England. Welcome, Asha Ash from London, England. Good to have you on board. Thank you very much. Cherry Henry, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for staying with us. Inez Iona Campbell, good to have you on board as well. Thank you for staying with us on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Let's take some more calls now on 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Markham.
Good afternoon.
This is the second time I'm taking the opportunity to call your program.
We appreciate your decision. Thank you.
After so many years, 10 to 15 years of listening to you and various other persons.
Wow.
But I have a question.
Sure.
I hear a lot of, before I ask the question, I hear a lot of people identifying issues. My question is, is your radio station a forum for um, to express one's opinions or concern, or is it an outlet for venting?
No, it's for people to express their thoughts, their ideas, their issues, their suggestions, their recommendations, their whatever is on their mind. All we ask is that they approach it with a level of decorum and respect.
Okay, then my input would like to I would like my input to be: is it possible for us to have a segment to find solutions to some of the concerns or the suggestions? Because we have multiple of suggestions and venting, but I don't hear a lot of solutions at the end of the day coming forth.
Which is why maybe I need to ask the question more often, but which is one of the reasons why I usually ask those who uh, are critiquing an institution, an individual, the country, whatever, to give us their suggestion.
Okay, but once they voice their suggestion or present their suggestions to you, where does it go from there to bring about some tangible resolution for those suggestions or to deal with the issue or the concerns?
Well, it depends on the resources that are available to either establish communication or connection with particular individuals, institutions, organizations, to either refer or defer uh, the individual. In other words, refer someone to a particular agency because that which they seek is in alignment with what is available from that particular agency, etc.
Okay, I thank you for that. But is there a feedback between your station and that agency or that representative or it?
No, once we make contact and a matter is settled, we move on.
Okay. So how do we arrive at a place where we more citizens can be a part of not only making suggestions but also the solutions to a lot of
Well,
concerns that we have in this country?
well, one of the things about this program is that we try as best as we can to give our listeners and callers the benefit of the airtime. That's definitely something that we do. We over and over. I mean, we have information that we could use as well to
Some of the issues.
right, but we we like the idea of a forum where members of the public and whoever else who have an idea, a thought, who want to, they hear something, they want to add their comments, to add their suggestions, to ask their questions, etc. That's what we try to engender. But what tends to happen, because we have just a small core of of talk show participants, let's say, that core. So you find that it tends to be the same voices you're hearing over and over again, and some people think that's one of the things. Well, let me say that there are those who 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 get annoyed, and they tell me this as well off air, some of them, that it's the same voices over and over again. So what I try to do is just to give our listeners, to empower our listeners to go ahead and express themselves. But if they don't use up the time, if they don't take advantage of the platform that they're being given, then I mean, I don't know how.
Let me ask you a question then.
Yes.
Is it possible to incorporate a segment in your program where we bring in, where well, you, the host, would bring in a politician that would deal with specific issues on an ongoing basis, not just a one-off, because there are many issues that needs to be resolved or needs to be brought to the forefront. So is it possible to have a segment where on a weekly basis or even on a daily basis, is it possible to bring in a politician on a daily basis? Because they're the ones who are actually implementing or bringing about many of the solutions to the issues or the concerns that I hear the public voicing.
Yeah, except that I wouldn't want to limit it to the petitions, as you put it. It's what we want to do is to find the right fit, so that if there is someone who has an idea or an experience that they think is worth sharing, and that and discussing further and building upon, etc. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if the person is a politician or a
medical
a
person.
yes.
One of the reasons why I made mention of that, I listened to the gentleman who's in charge of roadworks, not roadworks, but the road program, a government representative. I don't remember his name. And
That's
first, Mike asked, go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just trying to. What's Stephen Shaw?
Yes, yes. Person might ask about certain road or bring to his attention certain conditions of roads and so forth. But he doesn't necessarily have the answers, because he has to go through the politicians or through the main or central government before he can do anything. Whereas if we had the person responsible for making that decision, then they would be able to give us some answers to our concerns or to our questions.
Well, here's what we do. We'll do going forward. If you as a listener or a caller wishes to participate in the program, for example, maybe you have an issue of a road network nature, and you want to publicly ask the representative, whether Stephen Shaw or whomever, questions, or the parish councillor or municipal corporation representative, and we will do our best to get that individual to come and join us on the program and answer some questions.
Well, that would be one of my suggestions. I must say your program is a better breath of fresh air. I mean, I really enjoy listening. But I am a more solution-oriented person, not just to voice opinions or to talk and talk and talk. We need solutions, because we're facing tremendous, diverse issues, diverse problems in our country.
And we're wide open where that is concerned. But you open the door and you try not to dictate who can come in. What you want to give people a sense of freedom of expression in that regard.
That's fine. But we've got to be very objective at the end of the day. I mean, you could have a million callers calling to voice their opinion, and if there's not a means of bringing some resolution to their concerns or to the issues that they raise, then it's just a matter of just talking, really, and that doesn't get us anywhere very far.
Yes, that's true.
But I thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to.
No, thank you.
Keep up the good work, sir, and I just hope we can bring about more solutions for the nation. Maybe just using you as a means of initiating something, but we need solutions.
Yes, got you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the call. Please call again. All the best. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. The door is wide open, and we look forward to enhancing the program going forward with a greater level of participation on your part. Not that we haven't given you or been giving you the platform, but some people have been using it. But so it is. We'll do our best. Thank you. More in a moment.
listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
powerful people in the house. Come and meet some of the most powerful people in the world at the Caribbean's leading business conference, the 2024 Jamaica Stock Exchange 19th Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference, January 24th to 25th at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston. To participate, register at jamstockex.com or call 876-967-3271.
For 4:30 in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32, Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can also call us on WhatsApp. 876-365-3346. Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary says, Mr. Malcolm, with regard to the currency, there was also Jill, Gill. I don't remember how much is a Jill. Yes, I think we read this one. Thank you very much. Here's another message. Good afternoon, Teach. Happy New Year to you and all the staff of your classroom. All the best for 2024. We need more. If we seek more, we must get more in 2024. God bless you, sir. Blessings to you too. Clarky Bless. Was that from Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary? No, someone else. Thank you for your message. Cuban in Georgia is still typing away. Let's see what he's saying here. Sir Malcolm, if the minimum wage in Jamaica is $13,000 a week, or it's $13. Sorry, let's see. Sir Malcolm, if the minimum wage in Jamaica is $13,000 a week, or it's 13,000 a month, and is this a tangible wage? Because that's less than $100 in my estimation. And can that sustain a family under capitalism? Asks Cuban in Georgia. Horace, otherwise known as Spider. What is he saying here? No. My understanding about the Brigadista, hundreds of Jamaicans were being murdered in their communities and they didn't know how to defend themselves. So any sensible leader would not sit down and watch his or her people being murdered. So they have to get some people trained to defend the community and stop being a lamb to the slaughter, says Horace, otherwise known as Spider. You know, we still need a Truth and Reconciliation Commission in Jamaica, because what we have found over the years, and the talk shows have helped to bring it out as well, is that there are people who are still hurting from what happened, whether the 70s, the 80s, the 60s, the 90s, etc. Whatever people at the time considered to be atrocities being committed, and was evidently so. It's like reliving that trauma over and over again. It's something worth looking into. A Truth and Reconciliation Commission for Jamaica. Because clearly, as is said in Jamaican parlance, them a have up them one another. Them a carry belly for each other. Oh boy. Well, I guess some of us will never be over these matters. But so it is. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And let's share with you a bit of information. And let's see. So just to reflect on some of the issues that have been with us and are still with us, we could go back to 2002. The Gleaner's headline was "Take Back Jamaica. PSOJ demands change from quagmire of crime." The private sector organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, has called on Jamaicans to take back the country from the criminals, social deterioration, apathy, and slackness. In their 2002 New Year's message, the PSOJ declared, "Let's change Jamaica for the better in 2002. Step forward and get involved." In its 10-point proposal to start the positive process of change in Jamaica, the PSOJ called for an end to extortion of businesses, for drug dealers to leave the country, and for the upcoming general election at the time to be the most peaceful in Jamaica's history. In 2001, 1,138 people were killed violently across the country. 822 were cut down in 2000. And since the start of 2002, the police said that 22 people had been murdered. This is 2002. So these are issues that we've been dealing with from way back when. And we are not over these issues yet. So that's 2002. 2003, as of this day in 2003, commercial banks and other institutions licensed under the Financial Institutions Act had to lodge 5% of their Jamaican dollar deposits with it. It was part of the Bank of Jamaica's move to stem the devaluation of the Jamaican dollar. At the beginning of trading on this day in 2003, the US dollar was being sold for $51.94. Fast forward to 2004, Siaga accounts. Leader calls special meeting to discuss his debts. Juna on last lap. Visa racket busted. Those are some of the headlines from the Gleaner in 2004. In 2005, the headline was "Abortions Soar. 30% of teens have had one." And also, "High rate alarms medics." 2006, police moving in. PM defends cop headquarters move to downtown. Prime Minister P.J. Patterson said yesterday that the planned relocation of the Jamaica Constabulary Force headquarters downtown Kingston was a declaration of war against the criminal elements in the surrounding areas. Mr. Patterson, who was updating journalists at Jamaica House on decisions out of the previous week's three-day cabinet retreat, confirmed that the police high command will be accommodated in the Cable and Wireless Jamaica CWJ building at the corner of Duke and North Streets in the volatile Kingston Central Police Division. Sounding a warning to criminals, Mr. Patterson said, "Move out quickly because the police are moving in soon." He added, "The government is tightening the noose. Your days are numbered." Expanding on the new crime-fighting technologies, Mr. Patterson said the automated palm and fingerprinting identification system and the integrated identification system have been acquired and will be commissioned in a few weeks. That was one of the big stories on this day in 2006. Also, another British cop starts next week. Another British detective is expected to finalize his contract in order to work as an Assistant Commissioner of Police, ACP, next week. With the entry of that detective, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, moves one step closer to to recruiting 4 more senior British officers to join Mark Shields, Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of crime, who has held his current portfolio in the JCF since March 2005. The senior British officers are to be brought in at the rank of ACP. Another headline for you, 2007, target garrisons. Church needs to do more in inner cities. Following the murders of about 40 people since the start of the year, this was 2007, at least one church leader has suggested that instead of continuous prayers, the church needs to move into garrison communities and target dons and other individuals. This is preposterous, and it will take more than praying to solve the crime problem, said Pastor Carla Dunbar of the Buff Bay Church of God of Prophecy in St. Thomas. And the stories, I mean, they continue. They go way back, and it's amazing when you reflect on where we're coming from and what was happening when we recognize that we have moved, yes, but not by much. Not by much. And so we are yet to find the lasting solutions that we've been so desperate to have or to create on our own or with the help from others. But we've seen it all, haven't we? We could say. And we're still trusting and hoping that we will get there eventually. A country that has been cited and seen as being great on the stages, the biggest stages of the world. And we have not been able to get it together all this time, and we're still trying to get it together. We, the people, must resolve to get it, to make it better. Let's take the break and come back with more.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
The following are the nominees for the R.J. Arena Sports Foundation Sportswoman of the Year 2023. Rochelle Clayton, Diamond League Final and World Championships bronze medalist in the 400-meter hurdles. Janil Fowler, the top goal scorer and highest percentage shooter at the Netball World Cup in South Africa. Shelley Ann Fraser Price, the bronze medalist in the 100 meters at the World Championships and silver medalist in the 4x100 meters relay. Sharika Jackson, the gold medalist in the 200 meters with the second fastest time in history at the World Championships, silver medalist in both the 100 meters and the sprint relay at that event, and double winner for the 100 and 200 meters at the Diamond League Final. Daniel Williams, who ran the second fastest time by a Jamaican in the 100-meter hurdles and copped the gold medal at the World Championships in Budapest. Tune in to TVJ, TVJSN, and One Spot Media on Friday, January 19 at 8:30 p.m. and discover the winner. Brought to you by CM Group, J Red Review Limited, Wisynco Group, Jamaica Pegasus Hotel, Main Event Entertainment Group, FYI Consultancy, and the RJR Gleaner Communications Group.
We need all the protection we can get. Here we are talking about and sharing facts and history on what's been happening or not happening here in Jamaica. And we have a story now of a heavy police and military presence in the community of 100 Lane off Red Hills Road in St. Andrew, following the shooting death of a 14-year-old on Wednesday afternoon, that's this afternoon, allegedly by security forces. The deceased has been identified as Rasheem Wilson. And according to this pop-up from the Jamaica Observer online, Wilson was shot and killed at approximately 1:30 p.m. Police report that a firearm was recovered from the scene, the crime scene. Residents are, however, disputing the shooting as they allege the teen was murdered by law enforcers. Investigations are ongoing. Oh, we still have a lot of work to do. Whole heap of work to do. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. So many things have been tried over the years. The search continues. The search continues. 876-922-4112-5 are the numbers to call if you wish to participate in the discussions. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Someone here in response to one of our callers earlier on, I think that's the caller, Voice of New York, saying Voice of New York sounds like him homesick. And let's check this other message here. I think we read that one already. Hold on a moment there. Yeah, we've gone through those already. So we're going to continue with more, and stories continue coming in. 39 rounds of ammunition seized in abandoned building in Kingston. A police military team on Tuesday seized 39 rounds of ammunition in an abandoned building on Regent Street in Kingston. The police say the team conducted an operation at a premises in the area about 2:30 p.m. During the search, the ammunition was found in an abandoned building wrapped in a cloth bag. No one was arrested. Investigations are ongoing. Oh boy. And it continues. 2 men charged over Christmas Day shootout with the police. The police have charged 2 men over a Christmas Day shootout with cops on Rodney Road in St. Andrew. Charged with shooting with intent, assault at common law, possession of a prohibited weapon, possession of unauthorized ammunition, and malicious destruction of property are 26-year-old Rohan Denton and 23-year-old Clayton Anderson, both of Metcalfe Road in the parish. We still have a lot to be thankful for, and clearly a lot of work still to be done on this project called Jamaica. But we can't give up, and we shouldn't give up on this blessed country of ours. Because if we, the citizens, decide to give up on this island of ours, then who will be left to take care of this island of ours? And it goes on. When you look at the stories, it goes on. 3 of 6 charged in Spanish Town kidnapping offered $500,000 bail. 3 of the 6 persons charged in relation to the kidnapping of a businessman in Tawspen, Spanish Town, St. Catherine, were today each granted $500,000 bail. Those offered bail: Damian Ferguson, Joan Burrell, and a 17-year-old schoolboy. These are the stories that make our news here in Jamaica. St. James vendor charged with murder. And there's another story, but this one is different. It says government will provide affordable housing for poor and disadvantaged, quoting the Prime Minister. And there's a picture. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the government remains committed to providing affordable housing for the country's poor and disadvantaged in an equitable and non-partisan manner through a rigorous vetting process. And the story goes on. As we draw closer to the end of today's edition of Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Here's your opportunity. If you have something else to say, please speak now or speak with us tomorrow, all things being well. And we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Wednesday, the 10th of January, 2024. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
Lord, give us your wisdom and keep us strong. Face all the things that come our way and make us one, Lord. We truly pray. Thank you, Lord, for watching over us through our lives. You made us victorious. We praise your name. Oh, praise you, glorious. Thank you, oh, we have been good times and bad. Indeed, for sometimes you made us glad because you were there to see us through. For this and all the things you truly Lord, oh Lord, bless all the children, safe and warm. Guide their every footstep, protect them from harm. They are the future. Bless them, we pray, and teach all the leaders to walk in your way.
Bye.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now